Yo, what is going on, guys? Bexio back, and today we've got the finale to the Save the Kids scam, obviously put on by former FaZe K and a bunch of other people who were involved. Coffeezilla made a video talking about it. It's like a 35-minute long video, but it is great. So if you haven't seen it, you should check it out. I'll leave a link in the description to it, but just gonna break down like his video talking about it and just how absolutely crazy everything with this has got. So to start off with this whole thing, there are people who need to be like released from this type of drama or whatever you however you would call it, but basically like that they weren't involved at all, and those are Banks and Teeqo. Banks, it's most likely he didn't know anything and wasn't really involved. But Teeqo, by all means, was not involved, and he put in more money of his own money to buy it and never sold a single token and watched it go to zero. So it's crazy that he is even caught up in this. I think he's by far the best person to kind of like say he got caught up in this and he didn't do anything wrong.
We got another lead when we heard that one of the influencers involved, Teeqo, wanted to volunteer his wallet, saying he had nothing to hide. We, of course, took him up on that, and here it is, Teeqo's wallet. Now, let me tell you up front, Teeqo is probably the only person in this whole story I feel bad for, because we have him on blockchain record putting in roughly $40,000 worth of crypto into Save the Kids token and then just not selling at all. As you can see, he bought some here. He even bought more from PancakeSwap and just held on to it as it tanked to basically zero.
So that is crazy that he put in his own money too, on top of things he got like pre-sale, and he bought more, doubled down, and he more than likely wanted this project to succeed, but ultimately, got scammed from people that he probably trusted, where he watched everything go to zero and lost out on all of the money. Because he wanted to actually do what the charity part of the token was supposed to be about, and didn't know that it was just a quick, easy way for these people to scam their fans. And then you also have people like RiceGum and Jarvis and Nikon, who are, when you look through their records and stuff, you look through the blockchain, all of their wallets and things showing that they don't really have malicious selling, meaning they're not getting into these coins and selling right away. They don't have like a bunch of other projects that they were in pre-sales and then sold when it went live. So you can't really say that they're trying to do rug pulls or trying to make money doing this. It's kind of the same thing where they just got caught up in this and sold some. But I think RiceGum is the worst out of Jarvis and Nikon out of this stuff, because he sold basically all of his kids, but doesn't have a history of anything else going on. But the other two are in the same boat pretty much.
Who were involved in his pre-sale? Among them, RiceGum. So this is it, the alleged wallet. It looks like on June 6th, he got some money from the pre-sale, and 30 minutes later, he starts selling it off. Then he waits a couple hours and sells off the rest. So after a few hours, RiceGum has 7 kids to his name, which, based on the fact this guy's an ambassador of the project, is a pretty scumbag thing to do. However, looking through his other token history, this guy isn't a crypto mastermind. If I can be honest, RiceGum is, from what I can see, not smart. Even though he abandoned Save the Kids seemingly at his earliest convenience, I'd put him more in a similar category as Jarvis or Nikon.
So those are the people that are pretty much off of the hook and not really involved all that much, or you can't throw a bunch of blame in their direction. That would be RiceGum, Nikon, Jarvis, Banks, and Teeqo. Of those 5, Teeqo should be in his own category of completely innocent, and the other ones just real, messed up people still benefiting from this, except Banks as well. Banks can go on the completely innocent as far as we know, but the other ones, they still benefited from it, but they don't have a history of doing this type of stuff. But talking about money that these people would have made, people like Kay and Sam Pepper who were involved, and even this new guy, Jordan Galen or something, these guys, probably are millionaires from what they've done. And there's an example of this when they're talking through a deal that falls through. but it's a deal that is worth like $500,000.
K was supposed to promote something called Ape Haven Token. And at the time, they were negotiating to be paid over $500,000, of which $150,000 would have been part of a giveaway to promote the coin, which would have put Jordan's commission at around $40,000 to $80,000, with K's cut being $350,000.
So just based off that one deal, K would have made $350,000, and this Galen guy would have made $40,000 to $80,000 off of one deal. And we know there was at least like 10 other projects that K did and pulled and did scams and did all this stuff. So easily he is a millionaire, if not a multi-millionaire, from pulling these scams off. And it just continues to get worse with this one in particular for him. And meaning it just is so like messed up what all these people are doing. But after you go through everything, it is basically three people who are thought to be involved or like heads of this and kind of in charge, and that would be Jordan Galen, FaZe K, former FaZe K, and Sam Pepper. These are the guys who would have more than likely, after ruling out everyone else, they are the ones who are left being the masterminds and the head people and all this stuff. And it makes sense. Sam Pepper has a history of being a crypto pump and dump scam artist by, promoting these worthless coins on his Twitter and everything and getting his fans to buy in while he sells out. K, the same exact thing. And then Jordan Gailey, someone who's just kind of doing all the negotiations for all of these scams. And it continues to get worse because you dig a little bit deeper and find that K actually made SaveTheKids, or is someone who is in charge of creating this whole thing. That is where it gets insanely crazy, where he created his own coin to scam his own fans. That is completely messed up, and it's crazy that he would even think to do that. And then on top of that, make it a charity coin, not just some normal, regular worthless coin, to try and implement charity to make people emotionally attached to it or think that it's going to do some good by them buying in. And it's really messed up.
K's idea, and he chose and assembled team members he controls. That's what K does. Okay. Obviously, we have to take this with a huge grain of salt coming from Pepper, because everyone's playing this like PR game at this point. But what if there is some truth to this? Was K behind SaveTheKids token launch? I mean, he made himself seem like another ambassador, but what if he's the one who launched it? Then I get sent this picture from Sam Pepper to confirm what he's saying. It's a message from K on May 21st. Founder of CoinMarketCap heard I'm starting this and reached out to call me later. Wow.
So Coffeezilla basically showing that, he's talking about being the owner, creator of this coin. CoinMarketCap founder reaches out to talk to him, and he sends that to K and gets no response. Obviously shocking that he doesn't get a response. But then you dig even deeper and you start to get where you splitting between K and Sam Pepper, where K, maybe this is a coin he wanted to start and everything. And do something right, but then Sam Pepper apparently changed the whale code, so went from where it was you could only sell whatever amount if you're a whale every 24 hours to like every minute, to be able to get out and make the most amount of money and scam people.
Changing this whale code, Lucas says that he was just following orders and makes the change. And all of this dooms SaveTheKids token from the very start. Then comes the day of launch. This project is supposed to be unruggable, but immediately the project gets rugged as sellers take advantage of Sam Pepper's code change, and then the price collapses. Sam Pepper's group seems to be one of the first to fully jump ship. 4 hours in, they were completely out. K isn't any better. He started selling 40 minutes after launch and continues selling until 24 hours later. He's out too.
So even though as messed up as it is for Sam Pepper to change the code and stuff, you have to think K knew about the change because he sold all of his as well. And if this is his project, he wants to back and do all of this, then he's already out within 1 day. He's completely out of all of his SaveTheKids token and took all the money and ran. So putting blame on just Sam Pepper for changing the code doesn't make sense, because that exact same code change was used by K to sell all of his kids' tokens and make it so that he's completely out of his own project within 24 hours. And it continues to get crazier with Sam Pepper apparently fleeing the country, so fleeing the US to the UK. Obviously, he says he's visiting family, doing all this and that, but he actually sold his Tesla that was a year early on its lease. So he sold it a year early and left the US. That just makes sense. He's trying to not deal with these possible legal ramifications of what's going on with this. And we all know that the legal crime for like these financial crimes can be very punished, very, very bad. And when this is like crypto crime as well, crypto scams, and the government's just been waiting for something like this to happen, so they will make an example out of these people to try and show like how bad crypto is and all this, and just show that narrative, or bring on regulation, or just not want this to happen, so they go very hard on the punishment for Sam Pepper and Kay, who are the ones who got caught doing this.
This in somewhere real quick, because I've just found out that Sam Pepper fled to the US to go back to the UK. Here's the evidence. First, I found a new photo of Sam Pepper in the UK. You got to appreciate the shirt he's wearing that says paranoid. Nice, Sam. Now, of course, you might say just because he's in the UK doesn't mean he's fleeing the country. It could be coincidental travel, and that's true. But here's another piece of information you should consider. Sam Pepper had a white Tesla Model 3 lease, a fact that was told to me by the person that I believe was working for K and was basically stalking Sam Pepper. Remember, they're the ones who emailed me a really weird photo of Sam. Now, they had told me that Sam sold his Tesla to a CarMax location in Escondido, California.
So you see, he sold his Tesla a year early on his lease, is in the UK, claims it's all travel and stuff for family and whatever. So it's up in the air and up to opinion to see if you think he's fleeing the country or doing whatever you want to say. But all in all, this doesn't happen without both of them, without Kay and Pepper working together. And it doesn't get exposed without Coffeezilla first digging into it with his first video about the SaveTheKids scam. And it's just crazy. Like, they did tons of scams before this with tons of worthless crypto, and they made millions. So to get caught on one coin, and it's Coffeezilla, so everything goes out to him for revealing everything, doing this research, and with the couple of the people he worked with, and bringing it to light, because everyone should know about these influencers who are trying to scam their fans to make even more money, even though they are already multi-millionaires. So I think we could be seeing some pretty big legal action taken against these guys. All of this proof is on the internet, and then on top of that, people can do their own digging, and the legal system can do their own digging and stuff like that. And it's just crazy to think, like, if SaveTheKids never happened, they would still be scamming their fans today to take hundreds of thousands of dollars from their fans. This isn't a brand deal or a product where you promote it and it's a bad product, but the people paid for it and get a product. This is literally reaching into your fans' pockets, taking the money and putting it in your own. So it's ridiculous that this is happening, especially with influencers who are multi-millionaires. So we got to give it up to Coffeezilla for exposing this, bringing it all up, everyone he worked with, and doing these videos. They're great videos. If you haven't seen them, you got to check them out. I will link this video in the description, and if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. But as always, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. See you guys in my next video.